Hey everyone, welcome to our Camille Full Gameplay Jungle tutorial. Before we start, let's first talk about her items and runes. Currently, this is the ideal setup and feel free to use this as your build. For better understanding, I will explain the reason on why this is my personal setup. Going to the items, the first item that we would get is the Triforce. This is very good with her kit since it has move speed with the Phage, attack damage, attack speed for the clear, as well as ability haste. So the synergy is good with the first skill. So you can proc the Sheen plus the true damage at the same time. And a good all-around item. So the reason why I go for Triforce instead of Divine Sunder is because her clear will be affected if you go for the Divine Sunder. Divine Sunder is better if you're a Baron lane, but for jungle, I think Triforce is a must since you need Triforce to increase your clear and make your clear faster. If you go for the Divine Sunder, there's no attack speed and your clear will still be very slow. So the next item that I would go for is Death's Dance. So Death's Dance, very good on Camille. If you're able to get a kill with your ulti, you get your HP back, gives some additional damage and armor as well. Then the next item where we go is the Steel Plated Stasis. It could also go for the Mercury Stasis. It depends on you. If they have a lot of CC, goes for the Mercs. If they have a lot of ADD, go for the Steel Plated. So this is very good with Camille, especially with her ulti plus Stasis combo. It's good especially if you're against Lee Sin, Tristana, Alistar, those people who have knockups. So all you have to do is ulti, then press stasis. Or you could also use it to buy time as well for your team to catch the enemy carries. Then the next item here is actually a flex. It depends if you're ahead in the game or if you're not ahead in the game. If you're ahead in the game, you go for the Blade of the Ruined King. This helps with your side lane. This helps increase your kill pressure and your damage output as well. So you could go for the side lane. You could catch people as well in team fights. Only get this if you're ahead and if you're able to dish out more additional damage. If you're behind, I think Sterax is a way better option, or you could go for the Guardian's Angel, since these items make you last longer in a team fight. So if you think you have to start and you're the one soaking all of the damage, you go for the GA or Sterax, up to you. But if you think you could free hit in a team fight, you go for the Blade of the Ruined King. So after this, you go for GA Sterax. GA is also a very good item in Camille, especially if it goes to the late game. So assuming that you go for the Blade of the Ruined King, you go for the Guardian's Angels next, because at this point, Elder will spawn and having a second life will always be very helpful. And the stats of this is good for Camille since it gives AD and armor. Last item, this could be a flex. It could depend on the opponents. It could be Randuins. It could be Force of Nature. It depends on you, but I just go for the Sterax since this is the most balanced of all the items and it gives you additional HP and additional damage as well, which increases your burst. So going to the runes, we go for the Conqueror. Very basic. There are two runes actually for this. You could either go for Conquer or Fleet Footwork. Personally, in solo queue, I go for the Conquer. But for competitive, I go for the Fleet Footwork because mobility is more important in the team fights, and it's not always that you would be able to use your full combo because every time you go in, if the opponents are smart, they would automatically focus you down. Then the next standard you go for is Brutal. Her clear is very slow, especially if you don't have your Triforce yet. That's why I go for the Brutal. It makes her dueling a bit stronger and her clear a bit faster in the early game. If you don't want to go Brutal, another rune that you could go for is Triumph, since it's better for the team fights. But personally, I go for the Brutal to help her clear become a little faster, since she got nerfed a lot already in the jungle. So the next one, you would go for Titan or Bone Plating. If you're against Lee Sin, Rengar, for me, Bone Plating is better to try to mitigate their burst. But if they have a lot of CC and you want general stats, which is HP, Tenacity, you go for the Hunter's Titan. Then the last that we would go for is Pathfinder. Very good for Camille, especially she's a very mobile champion. It makes your roams faster, makes your roams better, and helps you move through the jungle faster. So that is all for her runes items, and with that, I will see you guys in game. Going to the game, this is where I'll teach you the tips and tricks, do's and don'ts, and advantages, disadvantages of Jungle Camille. So in this game, we are up against Xin Zhao, and in a Camille versus Xin Zhao matchup, this is favored to the Xin Zhao in the early stages of the game, but when it gets to the later mid to late game, this will be in our favor. So what we need to do here is to try to avoid the matchup as much as possible unless we have lane priority, and then we get to scale properly so we outscale the Xin Zhao when it comes to the later stages. So we have more damage, we have a stronger split push ability, and we can catch people easily with Camille. Unlike Xin Zhao is more of a team fight slash tank in the later stages. So what I'm doing here is a red side clear, wherein I go for my red buff, Krugs, and then Raptors, then I flex. It depends on the what's happening on the map, on where I go. So I could go for the bot scut, I could go for the invade top scut, or I could even gank any lanes. So when going for our camps, what you need to do here is I go for the second skill, and then when clearing your camps, always auto attack before using your first skill. So one trick I did here is I skipped clearing the small Krugs because number one, it will take a lot of time clearing the small Krugs. Camille has a slow clear, and as much as possible, I would want to clear the jungle as fast as possible. I will be level 3, nevertheless, and you only clear the small Krugs if you have nothing else to do. But in this game, I see that Ahri is extended mid, and I want to punish the mid. I get to hit my third skill, I hit my second skill, and I get a first blood, which makes not clearing the small Krugs worth it. So it depends on your gameplay, but you could either skip or take Krugs. If you're just looking for to power farm your jungle, you just take the Krugs and then you go for the top or bot scut. But if you think you can make a play early, you can skip the Krugs. So it's up to you. So here, I go for the top scut. Xin Zhao is at the bot scut. I see Nasus low. I have top lane priority. So two things I could go here. Go for the Krugs or I could go for the gank. I see Nasus. I thought he would ward the bush. So I used my second skill. It didn't hit. But I'm still able to pull off the gank. Darius gets a kill. Nasus gets behind. As well as we deny his XP. So now, we don't know where... I would want to get the Krugs, but I don't know where the Ahri is and the Xin Zhao. So once Ahri shows herself, I could... it's too late for me to clear the Krugs. I still don't know where Xin Zhao is. I see him right now. He sees me at the top side, so he makes a play at the bottom side, which is the right thing to do. They're able to get a kill. I think we're able to get... they're able to get 2 kills, but we get a trade onto the Xin Zhao. Vayne gets a kill, which is huge for us. So even though they're able to make a play on the bot side, we're able to still get a trade. So 3-2, still in favor of us. And what I'm doing here right now is I'm clearing my top side before I recall. I'm looking to do another repeat gank top since I have my ulti. But I think he's playing too safe. So I just decide to go back and get my items. So when playing Camille, there are 2 things you need to do. Number 1 is try to complete your Triforce as soon as possible. And your second one is to use your ulti as much as possible. Always look for a gank when you have ulti because it's a very broken ability for ganking. And especially if they don't have stasis yet. So when clearing your camps, you always third skill, second skill, and then auto. The most basic clear that you could do is auto, and then auto, and then first skill again. So that's the most basic combo when in a team fight or when clearing your jungle. So always auto twice after after proccing the first skill for the true damage. Because the second proc of Camille's first skill is OP since it does true damage and it can't be negated by armor. So you need to build HP to try to counter Camille's second proc of the first skill. And it's one of her most important abilities. So here I'm clearing the bot side. Dragon is about to spawn. It's unlikely that you would be able to finish your Triforce unless you get 2 to 3 kills since the item is quite expensive and it's okay. And this is another problem of Camille. She has a bit of a hard time when it comes to itemization. I see them I want to start the dragon but I'm out of position, so I opted to go out and I want them to start. Because if they start, I will have the better positioning, and the things that I need to dodge here is the Ahri charm. So once Ahri uses her charm, Kennen gets a great engage. I lock up the jungle, I kill the jungle. Ahri gets binded. I'm able to get 2 kills. Jinx gets a kill, but we're able to trade. We get Jinx as well. We also kill the Lulu, and that's a clean quadra kill for us. And props to the Kennen for doing a great engage, good punish. And that's the disadvantage when starting Dragon. Because when you start Dragon, not only does the Dragon attack you get damaged by the Dragon, you are also forced in a bad position wherein you all have to be close together. And when they're all close together, that's the perfect Kennen ult. Kennen goes in, we punish them big time, and we get our Triforce, which is our first win condition is to get our Triforce as soon as possible. As much as possible, you would want to get it before the 6-minute mark. So 5 to 5:30 should be okay. Above 6 o'clock, above 6 minutes, it will be a bit late. So So here we go to our Herald. Most likely they wouldn't contest because we had a very clean win in the Dragon. Even though Kennen has no ulti, we should still be able to take this. So they try to gank top instead. So they left their Herald alone. I secure the Herald first, then I look for the counter gank. I use my second proc on the Xin Zhao. Nasus is out of position, he has no HP. And then another second proc on the Xin Zhao. And one thing I do here is I use my first proc on the minion, then the second proc on the Xin Zhao, which would make my bursts and instantly kill Xin Zhao with the second proc of the first skill as well as an auto attack. So we get the tower, we get kills, we get all of the objectives. Things are looking great for us right now. So Camille is very mobile, as you can see a while ago. She has a lot of skills for engaging, disengaging, team fighting, etc. She has slow as well, and lifesteal with her second skill. So next, I go for my camps. I see all my camps are up, so I always want to clear my camps as much as possible before doing anything else in the map. And since I have my Triforce, my clear will be significantly faster. So the reason why I would want to complete my Triforce as fast as possible is because it helps with my clear. It makes my clear almost times 2 faster if I have it, because of the Shin procs, the attack speed, and the damage that it gives. So before having Triforce, your clear will be super slow, but after your Triforce, your clears will be as good as fast as the meta junglers. So in this stage of the game, the mid lane, what I'm doing here is I'm trying to look for the side lane. I'm looking for people out of position. I force the Lulu flash. I ulti the Jinx. I get exhausted, but it doesn't decrease my damage since it's true damage. Xin Zhao does a great counter gank, so we're forced to retreat. So I want to try to help Darius. I'm trying to buy time for my team. I slow the Xin Zhao. Kennen is able to go the bot side with the Morgana ulti. I'm low on HP. I wait for them to go in. I thought Jinx would go in, but she dodges. I still have my passive, that's why I'm trying to play a bit greedy. Ahri goes for the respond. I dodge her skills. Pretty clean. And I try to do another... I want to catch her, but I decide against it because it's not worth it. Since I have currently 8-0 and I think I have 607... I have 800 bounty on myself. So even though I get the Ahri, if I die in exchange, it will not be worth it because I have a bounty and Ahri doesn't have. So to try to prevent comebacks, I just decide to go home and get my item. So I have my Death's Dance, which is another huge power spike and another good item for Camille, since Death Dance gives damage, armor, and it allows us to survive more in a team fight. So when we're able to kill the target that we ultied, we get our HP back, and we can last a lot longer in team fights. So here, I'm trying to look for targets. I have my ulti. So one thing, when you're playing Camille, you would always want to look for targets that you could ulti. If your ulti is up, try to catch someone. Preferably in the side lane. So you'll want to play side lane, but since the dragon, it will be spawning soon, I decide to just clear my camps and my stasis is up. So stasis is a great item for Camille, since not only can you dodge the opponent's skill, you can also buy time, wherein you can't be touched when you're in stasis. So what you do is stasis, ulti plus stasis, and even though they have knock-up, they can't knock you out because you're invulnerable. So next dragon is up. I see Ahri poked, half HP. We're ahead in the game. I misplay, I go out of the bush, but it's okay. I'm confident we're ahead. So even though we compromise our position a bit, we're ahead in the game. And what I'm doing here is I'm looking for the turn. So I use my first skill on the dragon again. I look for the Ahri. I'm able to burst her. She's half HP, but she has stasis, which is my ulti's biggest counter. So I secure the dragon instead. I look for the go. I have my third skill plus flash to try to bump Jinx, put her out of position. I have my Death's Dance. I get my HP back, and we win the fight. So not only do we get the dragon, we get the Ahri, and we get the carries as well, which most likely would be a free tower for us in the mid lane. So Darius dies on the top side. It's okay. We won the bigger fight, which is getting both objectives. We get a tower, 2 objectives, 2 kills for a tower plus kill. So it's worth. We get a lot of money as well, and we have the means to fight a Nasus when it comes to the later stages of the game. So we have Condemn, we have Vayne with her tumbles. I have a lot of mobility. We have Lulu as well to kite the Nasus. So it wouldn't be as big as a not as big of a problem as of now. Okay. So here, I look at what's happening on the map. So whilst nothing is happening on the map, I clear my camps. I see them trying to push mid, so I try to position myself there. I don't want to give mid tower. And I try to look for another catch. So I see Ahri out of position. I immediately go to her because the number one reason is that she has no stasis. She used her stasis earlier in the dragon fight, which means she has no more stasis. Stasis, I think, has a 90-second cooldown, if I'm not mistaken, which is a bit of a long time and a lot of time to punish. So we punish her even though she has ulti, but she has no stasis, so she can't kite when when we use our Hextech ultimatum on her. So here, they force a clash mid. I see two people low, so I use my second skill. I get the Lulu low, but I'm not able to kill her. I misclick, but we still get the kill, so it's all good. We have our Herald. Nasus is split pushing bot again. Ahri tries to wave clear, but we punish her. We get her down. Our Herald is was able to do another bounce. So Nasus is still pushing. 4 of them are dead, and most likely we would be able to finish the game. So that's it. Really quick game, very good gameplay, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys next time. Before I go, there are 3 tips that I would like to share with you when playing Camille. My first tip is practicing combos. Camille has a lot of mechanics and skill involved. The most important things are to hit her third skill for the attack speed and the second proc of her first skill, which gives true damage. Don't forget to always auto in between skills for maximum damage output. My second tip is engaging. Engaging is an important aspect of Camille because she can easily catch opponents off guard. Only engage if you are fed or that you know your teammates can follow up. Camille can get bursted down if you make a bad engage, and a good engage can easily win you a clash, especially if you caught the enemy carry. My third tip is ganking. Make use of her ultimate, especially in the early game, while the opponents do not have the stasis enchantment yet. She specializes in ganking to make up for the slow clear speed early and is something that you could use to your advantage. Try to always gank once your ultimate is up to maximize her ganking potential. And that is it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to support our channel by subscribing in order to see more content. Feel free to leave a comment if I missed anything and what champion you would like to see next. Thanks for watching. Ciao, ciao.
I'm finally facing it all, fearless.